What's up everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to have a look at what you can do with your FPL team if you don't own Bruno Fernandes. What is up everyone, welcome back to another video. We are just 2 days away from the start of the FPL season, and one of the biggest decisions that we are all making in our team is whether we go with Bruno Fernandes. Now, last season Bruno Fernandes was the highest scoring player, however towards the end of the season he really didn't perform to a 12 million price tag that he's got this season. And actually if you look at some of the players that you could own if you didn't have Bruno Fernandes in your team, it is very appealing. So I'm going to show you the team that I would go with if I didn't own Bruno Fernandes for game week 1. So let's dive straight into it. That extra bit of money would allow me to go with what I think will be the highest scoring FPL goalkeeper again this season in Martinez in goal. 5.5 million for the Aston Villa goalkeeper. He was great last season. We all know how good he was, and they have a really nice start to the season. Probably the first 3 fixtures are the nicest out of any team in the league, with Watford, Burnley and Brentford for them. So I expect at least 2 clean sheets for Martinez in there. He makes a lot of save points and he gets bonus points as well. And he is partnered with Foster, so I can just play Martinez each and every week at 5.5 million. He's a lot of money, but if I'm playing him every week, it will be worth it because we know what he is capable of. Into the defence we add, of course, Luke Shaw. He's going to be in every draft that I make. He is so attacking, but also has a really good clean sheet potential with the opening fixtures that Manchester United have. He was really good last season as well as at the Euros, so 5.5 million is a really fair price tag for him. I expect him to only see a price increase as the game weeks go on, so it's a really nice option. He's in every draft that I make at the moment, and he is the most highly owned player in FPL at the moment. 5.5 million, but I expect him to be really worth the money. Next in we had Vladimir Coufal of West Ham. So again, a really nice option that was a great asset, particularly at the end of last season. Coufal is just 5 million, but West Ham kept a lot of clean sheets and he got 9 assists last season playing at right back / right wing back. So an option that I really like. They have a good opening set of fixtures, West Ham, including Newcastle in game week 1. So I'm very happy with him there, combining with Luke Shaw. So a big thing I often pull out is having defenders that can have attacking threat as well as that clean sheet potential. So Shaw and Coufal are 2 defenders that definitely have the ability to combine both of those 2 things. Next up is the 4.5 defender that I've gone with in Ben White. So he will be on the bench most weeks. However, Arsenal now, Ben White, not at Brighton anymore. They have a really nice run of fixtures from game week 4 where it maybe gets slightly more difficult for Coufal of West Ham. So if Coufal has a more difficult fixture, I have the ability to play White through, for example, as Norwich at home in game week 4, and Arsenal conceded the 3rd fewest goals out of any team in the league last season. So just 4.5 million, a really nice option, a good clean sheet potential, playing for a good defence to sit on my bench every week and play in case he's ever needed. The 4th defender and the 3rd starting defender for me, of course, is Trent Alexander-Arnold. So with the extra money that we get from selling Bruno Fernandes, of course, we're going to have a very strong defence, and Shaw, Coufal and Trent is a really nice way of doing that. Liverpool have a great start to the season, and I think Trent will be even better this season than he was last season with Van Dijk coming back into the team. They'll keep more clean sheets and it will allow Trent to get forward more up that right hand side, putting balls into the box and everything like that. So 7.5 million is a great price for him. He may be the most expensive defender in the game, but I expect him to be the highest scoring defender in the game as well, making sure that 7.5 million price tag is completely worth it. To complete the defence is Amati of Leicester. Now, he is the 4.0 defender that I've gone with. I could have had Tsimikas of Liverpool, but I didn't want to use up that Liverpool spot. So I've gone with Amati, who, while there are injuries into the centre-back position for Leicester, feels like he's going to play the first few game weeks. Leicester have an okay run of fixtures as well, so if he ever needs to come in, he can play. He is 4.0 million, so when he loses his place, I don't have that money spent on the bench. He plays occasionally, and Leicester were not bad defensively last season, so he makes up the 5-man defence that I've got. In the midfield is where things really start to get a bit spicy now that we've sold Bruno Fernandes. So Mahrez comes in at 9 million. I think out of all the Man City attackers, given that he didn't go to any competition over the summer and he's played a lot of minutes in pre-season, he has the best opportunity of starting the most games for Manchester City in the opening start of the season. We know how good Mahrez can be, and Manchester City score so many goals. So if Mahrez is starting every week at 9 million, he could be really good to return. They have Norwich at home in game week 2, which is a definite fixture we should be looking to target as well. So having Mahrez in there is obviously a captaincy shout in game week 2 if you don't go for someone else. Next to him, of course, without Fernandes, there will be Salah, the best captaincy option for most of the first 6 game weeks. If you don't go Mahrez in Norwich game week 2, then Salah against Burnley will be the shout that week. But Salah plays Norwich in game week 1, and that will be the captaincy option probably that this team will use. Obviously a great pick. He's scored so many FPL points since he's joined. He's always in the golden boot race, as well as getting the occasional assist on penalties as well for Liverpool. There's not much not to like, and without Fernandes, it's great to have that reliable option in the midfield as well. Next up, we had Heung-min Son of Tottenham. Now, it's not quite sure what's going to happen with Harry Kane, but if Harry Kane doesn't stay, then Son will be playing up front, which is a great option. At just 10 million, I don't know quite why he didn't get a more in price increase this season compared to what he had last season. And a lot of the other midfielders did get a big price increase, but Son has been so consistent for us, so at 10 million, it's a really good price. But even if Harry Kane does stay, that partnership that we saw last season will continue, and Son may go back to the wing, but he can be just as effective out there. So without Bruno Fernandes in the team, we do add Mahrez and Son to Salah and have a 3 premium midfield draft. On top of this, we have Greenwood. So although we don't have Bruno Fernandes, I do want Manchester United assets in this team because they do have a decent start to the season. I think Greenwood is good to start the first 4 fixtures. 7.5 million is really nice. With Rashford being out, 7.5 million, I think Greenwood will be starting those, and we know what he's capable of when he is given starts in that Manchester United team. Obviously, there is a chance of rotation with Sancho, Martial, Cavani all playing, but Greenwood is such a young talent. He's able to play so many minutes as well, so I expect him to be the one that maybe sees the least rotation in the opening 4 fixtures for Manchester United. Finally, in the midfield, we have Benrahma of West Ham. Now, without Jesse Lingard in the team, it feels like this is the guy who's going to fill that void and be that attacking, creative midfielder. He's had an incredible pre-season. For anyone who hasn't seen the West Ham results, he has had such good returns. And if he continues into the start of the season with the fixtures that West Ham have, he will be more than 6 million come game week 3 or 4. He'll be up to 6.5 million, if not even higher come sort of game week 10 onwards. He has such potential, and if he is playing in that Lingard role, he will be a bargain at that price. So I really like him. Good features as well, and at such a brilliant price to complete that 5-man midfield. Up front, we start with Danny Ings. Of course, I've gone with Aston Villa. Again, like Martinez, they have one of the best openings to the season out of any team. The first 3 is so great, and we know that Ings and Aston Villa can score goals against anyone. So if you combine the chances that Aston Villa make with having Danny Ings up front, just means that I think it's a great striker. He's in all of my drafts, whether you've got Bruno Fernandes or not, but 8 million, given the fixtures that Aston Villa have, Ings is definitely in my team, even considering the injuries to that midfield that they have at the moment. Up front with Danny Ings, we have Ivan Toney at 6.5 million. So Brentford are one of the newly promoted teams, but Toney was the highest scoring striker in the Championship, scoring 33 goals and 10 assists, which is just a mental return, getting the golden boot, being Brentford's player of the season. He's on penalties for them as well, so if Brentford are going to score goals, Toney's going to be the one that puts the ball in the back of the net. I really like his price. That's why he's in there. He's a very cheap option that allows you to move funds around elsewhere, so 6.5 million is the best budget forward for me. And finally, we complete the draft with Obafemi of Southampton. 4.5 million this option. He's not going to get that many minutes from me in this team. We will be then setting up with a 3-5-2 formation, so we will have Martinez in goal every week, as I've mentioned. Then in defence, we'll play Shaw, Soufal, Trent. Now, White and Amati can play occasionally if they have good enough fixtures, but at the moment it will be those 3 unless one of them, like Soufal, gets injured or he has a difficult fixture. The main talking point is the big 5-man midfield that not having Bruno Fernandes allows you to put together. Mahrez, Salah, Son, Greenwood and Benrahma have so many points in them at the start of the season. They all have really nice run of fixtures as well. Even after the game week 1 fixture of Man City Tottenham, there was a great run for those 5, and I think there's a lot of points in there even without Bruno Fernandes in it. And then a 2-man up front of Danny Ings and Ivan Toney. Again, I've spoken a lot about them. They are great assets to own. So a 3-5-2, I really like this draft. It has made me think about my own team. No Bruno Fernandes, but a really good team to start the season if you don't think Fernandes is going to be worth it. Now, there's a lot of other attackers now that are playing Bruno Fernandes and Pogba together, for example. So that is my team. Like and subscribe to the channel, please. There'll be videos and live streams between now and the start of the season, which will hopefully get you the best rank you possibly can. So do subscribe with notifications if you have enjoyed and you do like this draft. But that's all we've got time for in this video, and I'll be back very soon.